What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. The New Orleans Saints are expected to sign former Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Jameis Winston to a one-year deal to back up soon-to-be Hall of Fame quarterback Drew Brees, in a move that replicated the move that they made last year when they brought in Teddy Bridgewater under a one-year deal, and he springboarded that one-year deal into a contract with the Carolina Panthers to be their starting quarterback for the upcoming season. Jameis Winston wants to go down that same trail that Teddy Bridgewater went down, and hopefully after this season, he'll get a contract to start for another NFL organization. Now, Jameis Winston is very familiar with the division, so that's a plus. Played with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the same division as New Orleans Saints, so he's very familiar with the teams that they'll be going against in that division, the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. If Drew Brees gets hurt like he did last season when Teddy Bridgewater came in and led them to an impeccable record, I think he was like 6-1, I think. Won at Seattle, beat the Dallas Cowboys, who had one of the best records in the NFL at that time, had a lot of good wins over quality teams while Drew Brees was recovering from the thumb injury he suffered against the Los Angeles Rams in L.A. due to Aaron Donald coming through the middle and slapping at his hand on a pass attempt. Now, Jameis Winston is in a good organization, good culture, great quarterback developer in Sean Payton. They call it quarterback whisperers. When they name quarterback whisperers as far as head coaches, he's one of the first names that come up in the discussion. That's Sean Payton. And he'll be able to help hopefully develop Jameis Winston and kind of cut out his knack for throwing interception, as he was one of the 30 for 30. He did a 30 for 30 documentary last season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when he threw 33 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. And the New Orleans Saints will be looking to kind of cure him of that sickness and that disease of throwing a lot of interceptions. Now if he's able to get into the lineup due to injury by Drew Brees. Hopefully Drew Brees won't get hurt, but if he does, he'll be able to showcase his skills. Now he's going to be working with some weapons, kind of like the weapons he worked in at Tampa Bay. He's going to have weapons like he did have in Tampa Bay as far as wide receivers go. Michael Thomas, arguably the best receiver in the NFL. And then you got Emmanuel Sanders that they brought over from the San Francisco 49ers. And then you got Kamara coming out the backfield. He's a weapon out the backfield. He's one of the best pass-catching running backs in the NFL. So if he can get those turnovers down in New Orleans, then it just ain't no chance for him to ever overcome the turnover problems that have plagued him throughout his career, and he'll be destined to be a backup quarterback for the rest of his time in the NFL if he's not able to cure that with an organization like the New Orleans Saints. Now, when you watch Jameis Winston play, his problem is he stared down his receivers. That's why his interception numbers are very high. What defensive players do is they read quarterbacks' eyes, and they go the way you're looking at it. If you're looking to the left, the linebacker is going to go to the left, the safety is going to go to the left. If you're looking over the middle of the field, the linebacker is going to go to the middle of the field, the safety is going to go to the middle of the field. If you look to the right, the linebacker is going to go to the right, the safety is going to go to the right. So a lot of his interceptions are just fundamental one-on-one for the quarterbacks to try to look off the cornerback, or look off the safeties, or look off the running back. You look left when you want to throw right. You look right when you want to throw the left. You look right if you want to throw down the middle. You got to be able to look off the safeties and the linebackers in the NFL. If you're not able to do that at a high rate, you're gonna be subject to be getting intercepted at an alarmingly high rate, and that's what happened with Jameis Winston. Man, he stared down his receivers too much, and that's been his problem throughout his career. And actually, was his problem in college too. But he's able to overcome that with a great arm and great talent around him. And that was part of the problem in Tampa Bay, as he had two of the most premier wide receivers in the NFL, and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, and had a great tight end, emerging tight end, O.J. Howard, and coming in there. And he had a lot of weapons at his disposal. But sometimes you got to understand you can't stare down your receivers, and if it's not there deep, you can't force it deep. You got to check it down, and that should be a added bonus in New Orleans, as you got one of the best again, running back receivers in the NFL and Alvin Kamara. If you look for Michael Thomas, he's covered, and if nothing going on Emmanuel Sanders' side, he's covered too. You just dump it off to Kamara and let him break a couple of tackles and get you 6-7 yards. And now you're looking at 2nd and 3 instead of 2nd and 10. And your offensive playbook is wide open where the defense don't know if you're going to run or throw. And you're putting the defense on their back foot, and you got them scrambling, and you can have a lot of success with your offense. That's going to be the key for them, man. Dump it down. If you can't dump it down knowing you got a weapon like Alvin Kamara and you still trying to force it down the field and getting picked off in New Orleans, then like I said, Jameis Winston is destined to be a backup for the rest of his NFL career. But if he's able to, Drew Brees will be working with him, Sean Payton will be working with him to learn how to manipulate the defense with your eyes and make plays to your playmakers and Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. And if they're covered, if you don't like what you see down the field, dump it off to Alvin Kamara and let him make a play for you. If he's not able to do that in New Orleans, then like I said again, he's destined to be an NFL backup for the remainder of his NFL career. We'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. But throughout his career, his completion percentage has not been up to par too, due to the fact that he's always looking down the field to make big plays. Now that actually fit Bruce Arians' offense in Tampa Bay last season, as Bruce Arians he wants the quarterback to take the 5 to 7 step drops and look to make big plays down the field. So that actually fit the skill set of Jameis Winston. Now New Orleans is a little bit more of a timing offense, and they want you to get the ball out your hand a little bit quicker. And if it's not there, again, dump the ball down to check the ball down to Alvin Kamara and let him make a play for you. And I think this offense will either make or break Jameis Winston's remainder of his NFL career, because it actually help him in stuff that he struggles in, as far as getting rid of the ball quicker, manipulate the defense with your eyes, which Drew Brees is one of the best to ever do it at that position, and to check it down to a weapon out the backfield like Alvin Kamara, a guy that you want to have the touches. You want him to get the ball in his hand as many times possible, running and throwing. And for him to, that'll be a thing they'll want Jameis Winston to do too, to check as far as checking the ball down, which is something that has plagued him throughout his career as he struggles in those particular categories. As far as checking the ball down, as far as checking the ball down and manipulating it with your eyes. So what happens, and we'll see what transpires. As my phone is getting low. But leave your comments in the comment section. What you think about the acquisition of Jameis Winston's going to the New Orleans Saints? Do you think that's a good move for the New Orleans Saints? Obviously Jameis Winston couldn't get a starting quarterback position for any other team in the NFL, so he had to take a secondary role and get a backup position with the New Orleans Saints. That's the best deal. Like I said, he's in a great organization. Another thing good about Jameis Winston compared to my bad, I'm drawing a blank. The quarterback that was with the Saints last year, that's with the Carolina Panthers, Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater was a locker room leader. He was one of the leaders on the team last year, despite backing up Drew Brees, who's a leader too. But he was one of the leaders on the team last year, and that's one thing Jameis Winston is. One of the characteristics of him, he's a great leader. He was a captain of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team last season, and he'll be one of the leaders for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A great leader, a guy with a lot of charisma, a guy that draws teammates towards him. And if he is called upon to start some games due to Drew Brees' injury, he's a guy that teammates will rally around and will love to play for and love to make plays for. So that's very comparable to Teddy Bridgewater from last season. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. But leave your comments in the comment section what you think about Jameis Winston going to the New Orleans Saints. Do you think it's a good move for the New Orleans Saints? Is that a perfect fit for him? And what do you think Jameis Winston is going to do with this opportunity with the Saints? Will he make it happen? Will he take his game to another level, or will he fall flat on his face? Let me know what you think in the comment section. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.